A couple of days ago, Slate Digital released their brand new EQ, the Infinity EQ. It's a fantastic tool, it looks amazing, and in this video I'm going to be showing you exactly how it looks, what it does, and some of the features I like, and that's what's coming up. Hey, music producers, audio engineers, everyone out there, you're welcome to a brand new video this Friday. And today I'm going to be demonstrating or presenting to you a particular tool that has just been released into the plugin market by Slate Digital. Now, you know I'm a big fan of Slate Digital and I like their tools. I like their approach to creating tools for music production and audio engineering. Now, this is a brand new one. This is one that is a super improvement when you compare to some of the already available EQs in the market. It's very nice. It's really nice, has some great features, and it's something that every mix engineer would want to get their hands on, or most mix engineers who don't already have alternatives. Now, this Infinity EQ is already part of the All Access Pass, the Slate Digital subscription program for their plugins. You have access to every single plugin they make, and this new addition is included to that particular subscription. I've used the EQ for a bit and I like some of the features that it has. In fact, most of the features that it has. It's a nice addition to the Slate bundle, and I'll just show you what I think about this Infinity EQ. So let's head into this mix and I'll show you some of the features it has. All right, this is the Slate Digital Infinity EQ, brand new EQ, looking very, very beautiful. I like the GUI. It looks good if you ask me. And I'll show you some of the ways that you can make your boosts and cuts and some of the features that it has. But one thing I really like, this is very simple and very straightforward. In fact, you may be wondering why I think this is a big deal. I think it's a big deal because many plugin manufacturers have not included this to their software, and it's crazy. You can actually resize the plugin, the GUI of this plugin, to whatever size you like now, and that is very cool. I really like that. I wish many of my favorite plugins would also include that into their GUI. That would be nice. Okay, so we have a couple of things going on here. It's simple looking. I'm sure it reminds you of another EQ that is already available in the market, the Fab Filter Pro Q3, which I really like also. Now, this is like the Fab Filter Pro Q3 with some extra bells and whistles, if you ask me. Okay, now first of all, I like some of the things that Slate did here. When you want to make a boost or cut, anywhere on the frequency spectrum, you just double click there and you'd have whatever type of boost or cut that you have chosen. But if we undo that, there's an undo button right there. Undo that, take it away. As you move the cursor around, you can actually see what type of curve you're going to be effecting on what particular part of the frequency spectrum. If it's a high pass filter, you can see that. All you have to do is just double click on that particular section and then you have a high pass filter. If you move it around, you get your bell curve. You can even have a shelf, a high shelf, low cut, and all that. So it's very intuitive. It's easy to learn. It's not something you're going to spend too much time, getting a hang of. If we decide to just make a boost anywhere, just double click with the bell curve and then we can pull up, pull down, and you can see you can make your boosts and your cuts. And as you move this particular band across the frequency spectrum, you can see the color changes. The color changes, for those of you who are interested in, or you fancy having different colors, different bands having different colors, this is a feature you may appreciate. All right, now as you can see, once I let it go on a particular frequency point, you can see there are two lines. There's the vertical line and the horizontal line. The vertical line determines what kind of slope we want. If I pull that up all the way to 120 dBs per octave, that's how the slope looks. And then the lowest here is 12 dB per octave, which is more natural, on the normal side. Okay, so and you can also effect this change or alter this particular feature by just holding down your shift button and with your cursor on the icon right there, you can just use your mouse wheel and scroll, and it changes with the shift button pressed down. And then also we have here the horizontal line. You can change the mode. You can decide to have mid-side setting, stereo setting, left and right, and all that. And then you can lock the band. You can delete it. If you made a move that you don't like anymore, you can actually delete that. And then you can also decide to change the type of curve that you have. If you want a shelf, high pass, low pass, high shelf, you can select that by, just clicking this particular icon on the horizontal line. And then you can decide to solo it, and that just to listen to this band. If you have something going on there that you would like to confirm, you can just hold down that headphone icon, and then you're soloing this particular frequency band. Okay, so, and you can also, with the cursor on that icon, on that dot there that indicates what frequency we're on, you can just use your mouse wheel, scroll up, scroll down to change the slope, the Q, sorry, not the slope, the Q of the boost. For a narrower Q, you just bring it down, and for a wider Q, you increase it. And that's really nice. And of course, you can decide to bypass the move you've made to do an A/B test and stuff like that. Turn it back on, bypass, turn it back on. Okay, so that's basically a rundown of the basic moves you can make with this particular EQ. And also, if you decide to apply a mid-side processing to a particular band, what you do is, after you've made your boost or your cut, and then you just leave it there and your lines appear. So on this stereo mid-side setting, you just tap the icon and then the mid-side icons just show up. So what you do is you slide this, you move this slider to the left or the right. Now what this means is that you're trying to affect just the mids or just the sides. The sides are blue and the mid is yellow, or amber. Okay, now what you want to do if you're just trying to do a boost that will only affect the mids is slide it to the left so that the sides, you don't see any blue on this particular boost on the curve, so the sides are not affected at all. And the same goes if you want to only affect the sides, then you would have the curve looking just blue. But if you want to do the opposite, where you are cutting the other side, or you're boosting the sides and cutting the mids, then you move the slider all the way to the very end and do the same on the other side if you want the exact opposite. Okay, where this applies is if you have something like a high pass filter, or if you're mixing your maybe guitars. We're going to look at the guitars now. So if we pull up the EQ and decide and say what do we want to do, maybe we want to boost the highs and we want it to just affect the sides of the guitars. Okay, then what we're going to do is okay, so we can decide to boost the high frequencies, have a high shelf that will affect only the mids, or have a high shelf that will affect only the sides. All right, and if we decide to look for an unpleasant frequency to cut it out, all I have to do is double click with this bell curve icon and then make my boost or cut. And then if I have to search for it, so I can actually play the music, narrow down the cue so that it's not too wide, so I can find exactly what I'm looking for. Or as the music plays, I can just hold down this headphone icon so I can solo that band. Another way to actually solo the band is just to hold down your Windows key, and then you can also solo that band, and then you can find the frequency you're looking for. All right, so let's listen now so we can find any frequency that we don't like. I'll just take that away. Okay, so around that point, there's that woo sound that is not very pleasant. It's too resonant, and it will interfere with a number of things in the mix later on. But let's not go into that. So once I've found that frequency as something I don't want in this particular guitar sound, all I have to do is turn down the volume, and you can see this here, this slider right here is the volume for the selected frequency band that you're working on. So to just hold on to this slider and just move it down, I wouldn't be moving the band itself left or right. I would just turn down the band at the exact point that it is at, that I've set it at while I was searching for it. So that's how I've turned it down. If you've made a cut or a boost and you only want the mid aspects of the signal to be affected by that cut, then you would now select your mid or your sides. So if I say I don't want this cut to affect the sides, then I just turn the slider almost all the way to the left until the entire cut right there is amber. All right, that's the color. But if I want to boost that same frequency band in the sides as I'm cutting that same frequency band in the mids, then I take it all the way, take the slider all the way to the left, and you can see that by the same amount that I'm cutting that frequency band in the mids, I am boosting by that same amount. I'm boosting that frequency band in the sides, which is indicated by this blue color. So it's a cool EQ, it's a nice tool. I appreciate some of the features that I'm seeing. And of course, this adjustable GUI size just impresses me. Okay, let me take all this out. And you can see that we have some presets here, some nice looking presets. We have presets for hip hop, lo-fi, house, that's nice. Future bass, dubstep, pop, rock, metal, mastering, that's interesting. Some nice mastering presets here. Oh, even for loudness, nice, cool. And presets are a fantastic way to start your tweaking of any plugin. If you have a software in front of you, a plugin that you're just trying to familiarize yourself with for the first time, starting with presets is an amazing way to go. And I like Slate for this because they don't fall short when it comes to gathering presets for their software, for their plugins, and that's really nice. So that's the Infinity EQ from me. That's my take on it. It's a fantastic EQ. I think it's really nice, and it will be a tool that will serve me well. If you like it, you can go get it. There's absolutely nothing I have to gain from you going out to get it, but I just decided to show you and tell you what I think about it in this video. So if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, tap the like button right there, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do that. Tap the subscribe button and click the notification bell so that you're notified when there's new content, and do well to check out some of the past videos on this channel. You may be looking for a topic that I've covered already, and you will find some of the things I've shared here quite interesting, and if that's the case, that would be amazing. So till next time, when we see, keep producing, keep recording, keep mixing, and have a fantastic time.